Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us on KREM 2 News First at 4. I'm Tom Sherry.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Whitney Ward. Bonner County in North Idaho officially getting its own vaccine clinic. Starting today, residents can now register on the Panhandle Health District website to get a vaccination in that area. Kootenai, Boundary, Shoshone, and Benawa counties have each had vaccine clinics already run by the Panhandle Health District. Bonner was the last of the 5 counties in the Panhandle to get its own vaccine clinic.
So Idahoans are in phase 2.3. This means they are vaccinating workers in food and agriculture, public transit, U.S. Postal Services, and more. The health district says they get around 6,400 doses each week, but like most places around the nation, they want more.
We can increase our capacity, which is what we've told the state. So if they provide us with more vaccine doses, we would gladly take them.
The health district's Kate Hoyer says that getting more doses would allow them to keep expanding eligibility for those who want the vaccine. Now, if you're unable to book an appointment at any of the 5 vaccine clinics, some other options include Kootenai Health, Heritage Health, hospitals in each county, and pharmacies including Safeway, White Cross, and Superdrug.
And KREM 2 is continuing to push for answers about why Spokane's mass vaccination site is still administering the fewest doses of all of the state sites across Washington. Now, last week, you'll remember I questioned Health Secretary Dr. Umair Shah about why Spokane wasn't scheduling any new first dose appointments and why we haven't been able to vaccinate more people here. Here's what he told me just last week.
Ever since the Department of Health took over the arena site, we really haven't gotten any information about when the site will be able to reopen for first doses. Why are we not getting that information, and when do we think that the site will be able to reopen for first doses?
I absolutely agree with you. If you feel and the community in Spokane feels that they're not getting enough information about the Spokane site and the information, we're going to work on that. We need to improve that.
Okay, so the problem is that problem is still happening. So these are the latest totals from just a few days ago. You can see Spokane is still administering fewer doses than all 3 of the other mass vaccination sites in the state. Now, of course, keep in mind, our population here in Spokane is much higher than both the Tri-Cities and Wenatchee. So I asked the State Department of Health again today why that is and what is being done to catch us up with the rest of the state. And so far, the Department of Health has not responded. I also, though, wanted to know where the state's supply of Johnson & Johnson vaccines is going. So Washington, we know, was allocated 60,900 doses of that newly approved 1-dose shot, almost 61,000 doses. State officials, though, tell me there are counties where those J&J doses are being delivered across Washington. So I went through on the map and I circled every single one, every county where they are going to be getting those J&J doses. And you may notice that there's a big area that is not getting a bunch of doses. A huge portion of eastern Washington is getting nothing. In fact, the only county in the entire East region, as you can see, is down here, is Asotin County. So I went back again this afternoon and asked, why is that? We still, though, have not received a response from the Department of Health, and certainly we will continue asking these questions, and we'll let you know when we get those answers.
We appreciate you asking those questions, Whitney. Thank you. In the meantime, we know the Spokane Arena is finally starting to offer limited first dose appointments. We also know that Chaz is getting its own supply of Johnson & Johnson vaccines. For more information on all of this and how to schedule an appointment, just text the word vaccine to 509-448-2000.
All right, now we want to turn the attention back to you. We talk about the sunshine. We knew it was going to get a little bit warmer each and every day, but sunshine seemed harder to come by today, didn't it?
Well, it depended on the time of day that you were out. I was actually out taking a nice walk around Manitou Park at around 11 o'clock today, and I got it. I got a little sunshine, so I'm happy to tell you that. We are looking for temperatures to remain mild for the remainder of this week, and we could get into the lower 60s by the time we get into Saturday. Upper 50s and lower 60s. My gosh. 45 is the current temperature. We've got winds that are calm. When you take a look at the day planner forecast, look for an overnight low of 26, high tomorrow about 50 degrees. And then as we look ahead to the weekend, I've got temperatures hitting 56 on Saturday, but almost 60 degrees on Sunday. So if you're going to be out and about over the weekend, looks like you've got some great weather to enjoy. I'll have the rest of your forecast coming up in a few minutes.
A lot of people looking forward to that, Tom. Thank you. Well, a bill to create a dedicated fund to prevent and fight wildfires in Washington passed the State House of Representatives this week and will now be sent to the state Senate. That bill was promoted by the Commissioner of Public Lands, Hillary Franz, and would create dedicated amounts of dollars, $125 million to be exact, every 2 years, just to boost our wildfire response, also to accelerate forest restoration and to support community resilience after fires. The bill follows a historically destructive 2020 fire season here in Washington, where over 800,000 acres burned in more than 1,600 fires. Almost 300 homes were destroyed, including, as we know, the near total destruction of the town of Malden and Pine City. Franz said Washington already spends an average of $150 million a year to fight wildfires.
Well, this is our team and our time. This Sunday, we find out the Gonzaga men's basketball team's path to possibly claiming their first national title.
It is so exciting, and as their historic season continues on now, the stats behind this just incredible run are actually pretty mind-boggling. Karthik Venkatraman is joining us now from the newsroom just to share how impressive the Zags have truly been. Hi, Karthik.
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, last night Gonzaga men's basketball claimed the West Coast Conference Championship when they beat BYU in such a thrilling game. That was their 8th conference tournament title in just 9 seasons, and by doing so, they extended their win streak to 30 straight games, which is the longest ever in program history. Now, those stats are pretty impressive, but not as impressive as the ones I'm about to tell you. The first things first is that they extended their season of an undefeated season, kept that alive, and they're going to become the 20th program ever to enter the NCAA tournament undefeated. The last to do so, 2014-2015 Kentucky team loaded with professional basketball talent. That sounds pretty darn familiar to the Zags. However, that team wouldn't end up finishing undefeated. They lost in the tourney. As a matter of fact, no team that has entered the NCAA tournament undefeated has carried the championship trophy and finished with the perfect season since Indiana in 1975-1976. Quick math. That's 55 seasons ago. 4 teams after that season have entered the NCAA tournament without a loss. Gonzaga about to become the 5th. Only 7 teams have ever won the national title undefeated. Is GU about to become the 8th? It's impressive that GU has gone undefeated, yes, but how they've done so is just flat out ridiculous. They have won all but 1 game this season by double digits, which was against West Virginia earlier this season. Even last night, down 12 at halftime, they still beat BYU by double digits. GU has won 23 games in a row by 10 or more points. To put that into some perspective, no NCAA team has done that in the past 60 seasons. Their average margin of victory right now, 23 points. That is blowout after blowout, ladies and gentlemen. And right now, that's a program record for highest margin of victory ever in a season. Now, this one is for the haters that say, oh, big deal. It's because Gonzaga doesn't play anybody and they're untested. Well, according to ESPN stats and information, Gonzaga has beaten 7 teams in Ken Palm's current top 25. For those that don't know, Ken Palm is a site that ranks teams based on advanced statistics, which is now commonly used among coach and analysts to determine the strength of a team. So out of those 7 wins, that's the most of any team in the NCAA. Next closest is AP ranked number 3 Illinois, who has 5 such wins. GU is also the only team ever to open the season up with 4 wins against AP top 20 teams in their first 7 games. So basically, to summarize everything that I just told you, Gonzaga is really good. They are all but certain to be a lock for that overall number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. And if they do that, that would be the first time they have ever done that too. So, you know, the good times just keep rolling for the Zags right now.
So, Karthik, the takeaway is that Gonzaga is really good.
Yeah, that would be it. They are really good. And if I had to pick a champion for this NCAA tournament bracket, I'm going GU. There's no reason to think they'll lose.
I'm looking forward to seeing all your coverage of Gonzaga. Thank you, Karthik.
Tom.
Well, families of high school football players in the Greater Spokane League now are frustrated. They have not been allowed to watch their children play from the stands. Instead, they are cheering them on from the fence line. The mother of a Cheney High School senior football player says not being able to watch her son play is heartbreaking. Now, under Washington's Phase 2 guidelines, only a maximum of 200 people, including spectators, are allowed for outdoor sports. The Greater Spokane League says the number of athletes, coaches, and support staff on the field have reached that capacity every game, which is why it has not been able to accommodate any parents in the stands.
What I don't understand is the 200 number. I don't understand how, when we're at 25% occupancy for restaurants, how we can crowd in at Costco, you know, arm in arm, pushing our baskets, but we can't sit at a stadium, even at 25%.
So some parents are asking for an adjustment to these restrictions, such as, separate capacity for kids on the field and then also in the stands. Anything to allow senior parents see their kids play. Tonight at 5 o'clock, KREM 2's Amanda Rowley investigates why some schools have spectators at high school football games while others don't.